Hey everyone, I'm Jacky Liu, and I use his pronouns. I'm originally from China, but right now I'm doing school at the Juilliard School of Music in New York, majoring in composition under the guidance of the composer Melinda Wagner. So it's really nice to be here. It's going well, and being exposure in New York City is a totally different feeling compared to my hometown. So I'm always growing, both musically and like in my life. Musically speaking, Juilliard provide me a fantastic platform for um, you know, for my music, and like there's so many performance and performers that can play my music and just let me learn how to write piece through rehearsal or through the real performance. I think that's the part that I take advantage the most. New York is like a crazy city, and I also like New York. But on the other hand, I think I'm surrounded by a lot of different things, both good and bad, and all of them really inspires me to think about what on earth is under the superficial benefits and the material gain. And is there something I think as an artist that I was forced to think about and really let myself calm down and to read some books and read some poems and figure out what I am and what kind of piece I want to write, or like what things I want to express through my music. Yeah, I think my music draws the influence from the culture or the society stuff. Another 50% from my understanding towards the life. I think sometimes I like to read poems. Recently, I'm reading Emily Dickinson's poem, and I found her is like so amazing, and there's so many um, points to that are waiting for explore. Yeah, I mean, combining with my own cultural and societal background, I think there's always so many inspirations and reflections that um, coming out of the society, culture, and history. I was originally raised in China. My music language was inspired by like the poetic and more implicit form of expression. Speaking about the cultural background, like there's some like restrictions or um, of the freedom of speak or something that related to the culture. After I came to America and through reading some poems about the culture, about the censorship kind of thing, it made me to I think more brave to express my feeling. And I think, speaking about the piece that I was selected for this project, and because it's related to, it was inspired by the poem, and the poem is called the love that dare not speak its name. So, it's just about the poignant history of love, discrimination, and the perpetual struggle of acceptance. That's the thing I'm talking about, So the piece that I write, I think more or less will be restricted in China, but can perform there. So I think that's the meaningful part. I think this was the first time that I um, set a like really tedious poem into a piece. First of all, I get notice of this poem and I found it so elegant and beautiful. But also, more importantly, there's um, like a meaningful the value beyond this point. I extract some part that I feel important to me or to the audience of this poem into into several segments and then try to set into my piece. That's the most difficult part because I have to extract a very like few of sentence of this poem, but at the same time to make my piece still feel right in a way that express the point that's still really well to the point. I was forced to learn history, to learn literature, especially to learn the story behind this poem. Um, I think that's the most important thing. And after I know exactly what this poem want to express, and then imagine what the sound world will be like what kind of the sound world, what kind of the texture or the gesture I should use in order to express the feeling. I think because this poem was written in the 19th century, so it's like an old poem, even of its format. Musically speaking, I try to, you know, draw my influence of the harmony from the impressionistic area. I use some harmonic progression that uh, acts the same way as the Debussy or some composers in that area, I think. Honestly speaking, there's not that much innovation or like the music kind of stuff appear in this piece because I don't want the audience to feel confused about it. Because the poem itself is just from the tradition from the Victorian era. Personally, I don't want bring so much new things to my music. I tend to write something that can express some universal value, and that's something new, especially during this year. I think previously I always, I'm willing to explore some extended techniques and like the concept of the new music. On one hand, I do admit that this is so important, like those concepts and those new things are important. But on the other hand, I there's once like a period of time that I get really stuck because when you like do so many innovation to your music and the music just feel outshaped, and even only yourself can understand the music but not audience. Even right now I'm trying to explore my style of composing style of music. I do feel that using some new technique is important, but at the same time I want my I want audience to understand me. I want write music that can touch people, that can make a bridge to the people, the audience. I mean, the audience who know really very few about the music. If they can understand me, then I feel delighted and I feel successful. So in this way, I think right now I'm more tending to think what kind of music that can touch people from this perspective, not the perspective of always, adding something new and trying to experiment. Right now, I'm writing a brass quintet, and so in this piece, I want especially to reflect my understanding of the humanity and about the world. Especially I want write something that could with empathy, compassion, integrity, um, love, relations that we cherish. I think that's something that you know matters to me in this year. The points behind the music is simple. It's just about the universal values. But I'm exploring in a way that that writing music that can um, touch people, but it's not the music that's the same as classical music because it has to be written in like some new form. But at the same time, how would you balance the tradition and like the innovative side
Mm.
of the material that you use. So that's a thing that right now I'm still exploring. Yeah. There's a like chamber music. It's not music that I'm currently working on, but I will be working on next month. So I'm still thinking about it, especially the theme of it. Because personally speaking, when I am going to write a piece, and the first thing that comes to me is what is the theme or what is the inspiration. Even if I've had so many sounds or elements I collected before in my mind or written in paper, but I will not use it at first. But instead, I would just to find whether a poem or like a social events or my like some inspirations coming from the cultural societal stuff that could make me set the theme first. With the same there, I usually found out what is the right sounds, what is the right the harmony or the texture, or even the the size of the music, whether it's like a solo or duet or like or even to an orchestra. Yeah, so that's the mode that I use for myself. Well, I think on one hand, sometimes there's no way for you to decide because if you like have a commission stuff or like you have to write something that can only fit into what I call that like the work of practice of the works usually right during the semester to fulfill the requirements of the course, something like that. But on the other hand, if I'm always trying to do something new, for example, if I have done the wind quintet, brass quintet before, and then for the next coming years I will not do this. So
Mm.
I'll choose some form that I haven't written before to share like one of the sentences that I get from my main teacher that I think it, I feel so impressed about it. So I want to share with you is because once a time I was worrying about if the music I'm writing now, whether new music or not, because people always is new music and always new music and new music, but carrying this kind of confusion and concerns to my teacher, and what she said, it's not about writing new music, but your music. And
Mm.
I think, I was so impressed by that because sometimes we spend a lot of time thinking, oh, should all of the composers, all the people write the music in the same way? But sometimes uh, it's not about, writing music in the same way, but it's important that the music really impress your voice. And that's the most important value of the music, not the style. Yeah, I mean several performances coming next semester at Juilliard, and that's exciting. Just received a commission from like what's that called, a musical institution. So I'm super excited to write the work for just the work that I mentioned, the chamber for the chamber ensemble. Yeah.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this interview and want to see more like it, check out the 30 by 30 by 30 playlist on our channel. For more information about the 30 by 30 by 30 project, check out the website linked to the right.